The next principle is about the maintenance principle. So plan for preventive and schedule repair of all the handling equipments, because the material handling equipments are being installed for the proper functioning of other production systems, and if it is not properly maintained, that can also cause to a good or a great amount of a bottleneck. Now we have to replace the obsolete handling methods and equipments when more efficient methods are available which can improve your operations. So that is called as the obsolescence principle. Now next principle is about the control principles. Use the handling activities to improve the control of your production and inventory, or even the handling order. Now next principle is about the capacity. Use the equipment to help to achieve the desired production capacity. Many of the companies, what happens is that they have the facility but they cannot handle the equipment. Suppose a turning center which can turn a material of about weight of 10 ton, and there is no overhead crane or a gantry crane to load the particular material, the machine will be underutilized. So the capacity to utilize the full level, we have to have a good material handling equipment. Then the next principle is about the performance principle. Always check for the efficiency of the performance of the handling equipment, and it must be suitably corrected if something has to be done. And the last principle is about the safety, and it is the foremost and the prime focus of any industrial activity to be safer work site as well as the workplace. So the material handling must be taken or implemented in such a way that it provides safe handling methods of the equipments as well as it ensures safety to the workers. Now let us see how to select material handling equipments. There are few factors to see that. The first and foremost factor is about the properties of the material. So we have to see what kind of material is to be transported before selecting a material handling system. Suppose if it is a liquid, solid or a gas, whatever shape, size, accordingly you have to select a suitable material handling equipment. Now the layout and the characteristics of the building must be studied before selecting a material handling equipment. So you have to see what kind of production system, what kind of layout you have followed. So accordingly you can select a suitable handling method. Now the production flow. If the flow is fairly constant between two fixed positions and are not likely to change, then fixed equipments can be selected. On the other hand, if the flow is not constant, it changes from one side to another, or it has a variable path, you can go for some kind of industrial trucks which are not of permanent nature of material handling. So according to the production flow, you can have a selection system. The other selection criteria include the cost considerations, the nature consideration, engineering factors, and equipment reliability. The cost is also one of the important consideration that has to be taken in an industry wherein any new investment must have a return. So if there is no return, you cannot go for a costlier handling system. So considering the cost, considering the finance, you have to select a suitable one. Then the nature of operation. Suppose you have a temporary nature of operation to be carried out, you need not go for a permanent nature. That means you need not purchase a material handling system. Rather, you can hire some of the handling team. For example, you have to lift a heavy load, maybe a temporary nature. You can hire a crane service. That is fine. Then another factor called the engineering factor also contributes to the selection. You have to consider your floor space, door size, then floor condition, its strength before selecting a handling equipment. And the last factor is about the equipment reliability. Reliability of an equipment and supplier's reputation and after-sales service also plays an important role in selecting. Suppose a handling company offers you an equipment which is unreliable or it does not have a service in your factory space, once its lifetime ends, you cannot repair it or even you can go for a maintenance activity. So these factors also to be considered while selecting a material handling equipment. Material handling equipments can be broadly classified in two main categories. The first one is a fixed path equipment. The second one is a variable path equipment. Fixed path equipment means the material that has to be transported between the same two fixed points. For example, you can use a conveyor, a monorail device or a chute for this purpose. And a variable path means the path will vary. The routing will be varied from each day. Such cases you cannot use fixed equipments like conveyors, monorails. For such cases you can use forklifts, mobile cranes, then industrial tractors. So the material handling equipments is ultimately two categorized, that is fixed path and variable path.